Did you know that 7 is my favorite number? Well, you do now. Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is Asha Media TV. My name is Asha, and if you're new here, welcome. This is my little channel where I like to watch and react and review a variety of stuff related to sci-fi, fantasy, and comic books. And if you are a current subscriber, welcome back and thank you, always thank you for your continued support with this tiny little channel that could. All right, so today I am going to be watching episode 7 called The Seventh Man and aired on February 7th, 2019. God, 777. I know it's a cliche and I know the lucky number 7 thing is a thing, but I actually do have a strong emotional affinity to the number 7. A lot of things in my life has happened around 7. So I'm hoping that this episode will be, I don't know, illuminating? Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, before I get to pressing play on this episode, I want to quickly cover some basic stuff. If you are new here, please listen up. Don't skip ahead. And if you're not new here, you know you can pick and choose where you want to go. I'll see you at some point. Okay, so number 1, this is a spoiler reaction, spoiler type review. All right, so just letting you know that in case you missed that in the title, there are spoilers ahead. And number 2, if you've come across my previous videos where there was footage and clips shown of the episode, I no longer upload those kinds of reactions here on YouTube. It's a watch-along process, so you have to get access to the episode on your end while I have it on my end. We sync up together using my vocal and visual cues that I provide for you, and that's how it's going to go. However, I do offer a stress-free alternate version of this reaction, and the information on how to get access to that alternate reaction is in the description box for you. And lastly, I want to keep my comment section as spoiler-free as possible. So if you're going to leave a comment, you have to precede it with the words "no spoilers" and then type in your comment. Otherwise, I won't read it. And if your comment does get called out as a spoiler, then it's possible that I might have to delete it and block you from the channel. I don't want that to happen, so don't leave any spoilers. Okay, the basics are covered. Let's now focus on this episode. I'm going to read the synopsis. Those of you who are new here, yes, I read the synopsis. So this is what Amazon Prime Video is describing. This is how they're describing this episode. Okay, so it says here, the preparations for an Earth/Mars peace conference tightens the tension on Aaron Wright. By the way, I call him by his first name, Sadavir. I know Aaron Wright is the most common way he's called, but I'm just saying I say Sadavir. Okay, Bobbie's debriefing uncovers a deeper mystery after the attack on Ganymede. Dawes uses the flow of refugees coming into Tycho. Thank you for the correction on Tycho. I was calling it Tico. You know who you are. Okay, no last name. Yeah, so, sorry. Dawes uses the flow of refugees coming into Tycho for his own ends. That doesn't surprise me. Threatening to destabilize the uneasy alliance between Fred Johnson and Holden. More tension, more tension. Okay, so that gives me some idea what to expect in this episode, but of course the shock value will always be there and you'll see my face for it, hence the term reaction episode, right? Okay, let's get to watching, people. Hey, okay, so before I get to pressing play on this episode, if you were new with this watch-along thing, listen up for a little bit, and if you're not new, I will see you at the countdown. Okay, newbie, listen up. So I start at 0000, I do a countdown, 3, 2, 1, play. You'll see a visual cue on the screen when I'm playing, when I'm pausing, and when I'm rewinding. And the 3 reasons I'll normally pause is for buffering issues being number 1. Number 2, it's to rewind, which is the most common reason. I'll rewind back to something I, want to check out. And number 3, I want to have a moment to kind of put out some comments that I'm scared I'm going to forget during my review. So yeah, those are the main reasons you'll see me pause. Okay, and now I've also put up recently, it's a new thing, I've put up a timer that is post-edit, meaning that it resets every time I have to pause and play because it's not a live timer. And so there's a timestamp that will show you where you should start from. If by any chance, while the video is playing, you're actually kind of lost where I'm at in the episode itself. And so you'd have to kind of just gauge, do your math with the timestamp, with the timer. It may be off by 1 or 2 seconds, but it's the best I can do. Hopefully it's useful to keep you synced up with me. That's the point, right? So we watch it frame by frame together at the same time-ish. Sounds easy? Easy peasy? Let's do it. Let's play. Let's count down. Okay, 3, 2, 1, play. I don't skip the intro. I really love this music though. I was meaning to go look for it on iTunes or something for the soundtrack and I completely forgot, but it's fine. I'm watching at least one episode every couple of days or so, so it's enough. That last sequence of the lineup of the planets, I love that. Bobbie. Wow, the detail just on her alone is absolutely amazing. Look at the smears of blood from her point of view. Oh my gosh, I love it. Is her entire crew like dead? Like everyone? Snowflake. And no snowflake, no two snowflake are the same. Isn't that amazing? They're all individually different. Just like people. Oh. Wow, that's so neat. Not sure what I just saw, but it looked cool. UN Situation Room, New York City. Oh, of course, attack the food supply. Thank you for the clarity of that in the comments. Appreciate it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nice. Nicely played as always. Of course, assuming those are diamonds around her. Like, how much are they worth, huh? Bling, bling, bling. Tycho Station, not Tico. That facial expression, she's got separate agendas, it seems. Magic! BFFs! Oh. Well, that hit home for him. Are we gonna get more of a backstory on Amos? I hope so. Some flashbacks or something. Oh, man. Oh. Aliens did this! Blue aliens! I wonder if she remembers them. Sounds like you want it, though. Well, you shoved her. That was a great scene. All right, I got the last sentence of that. Why would you tell them, though? But He's pissed. Oh. Don't make it worse, Jim. He's gonna shoot him down with something. He should have never told him about the frickin' missiles. There's a saying in my family, when all you've known is war, that's all you'll want. Even if you think you don't. I understand both sides, but... Oh. The candy! I know it's not the candy, but that's what I call it. Pause. Okay, I'm at 2132. So in the comments, one of you pointed to the fact that if I look back at that scene where it seemed like the UN people were charging at them, I did notice one little figure was shooting their guns in the opposite direction, as if they were shooting. It's like they were running away from something, so it looked as if they were charging her team. But it kind of didn't look like that on a second viewing. But I didn't watch any further than that, and so I'm interpreting that as the fact that those UN people weren't actually charging Martian, like her team. They were actually running away from something, which is, I think, is the alien blue thingies that she ended up seeing before she passed out. Now, if I completely got that wrong, correct me, of course, but that's what I understood the direction was, to rewatch that scene, and that nothing seemed as it seemed. Okay. Just wanted to let you know that that's what I ended up interpreting on a second viewing of that little portion of the clip from episode 6. Okay, let's count down back to play. 3, 2, 1, play. And that Anderson guy, I wouldn't trust him with anything. Okay. He doesn't. Holden's making it so obvious they're hiding something. Like, dude. Miller? Of course. That's a warning. Oh, Naomi. What are you gonna do? She holds all the cards! PTSD is probably gonna kick in like a mofo. She lying? Well, I remember. You saw a blue alien. He hopped on from one of the Avatar sequels. Gosh, Avatar, can you imagine? More of that's coming. Oh, that's neat. Yeah. It's James Cameron's fault. Nice. This guy's in his own personal heaven. But okay, I'll wait for my review part to say what I'm thinking on that part. How long? Wow. I don't think he'd like that, would he? Does he know? He definitely knows how to manipulate emotion. You gotta in that line of work. Wow. Good for you, Bobbie. Yeah. Mm-mm. That was great. Is it though? Well, there's one wish. Cross it off your bucket list, bitch. Bitch in a good way. Holden. What? Now, what? Mm. What is he gonna do? Oh shit, that's Kodazar's spot. Ah, of course. The kid gave it away about the scientist. Well, good leverage, I guess. How did Holden suspect that? Like, what made him just get up and check that? Kodazar, his greatest weapon. Hopefully it works. I don't want no sudden deaths again. Wow, look at Alex telling her what to do. Taking charge. Was he a decoy? Alright, we are done. Takeaways coming up. So, about that seventh man. Blame James Cameron, it's all his fault. Okay, so this was a really fun episode. I think this is the first time I can truly say it was fun. Like, all the obvious was there, you know, the suspense, the thriller and all that, but I actually had a lot of fun. I wasn't full of emotion of too much like, and too much of like, you know? And I felt less confused because of all the wonderful corrections and guidance that I received from the previous reaction. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So that is now giving me more confidence to feel like that's the best way to go with uploading my reaction is, you know, wait for the feedback, pay attention to as many details as you can that are non-spoilery, but that are very insightful and helpful, and follow some of the directive, like the one of you that told me, you know, go back to that scene in episode 6, and you'll notice that those people look like they were charging Bobbie and her crew. That wasn't the case, really, and I'm glad you told me that, because it's getting me in the habit to not only go back and rewatch some parts of the episode, which I can't always do all the time, but in cases where it's a very specific thing like that, I liked the payoff of now seeing, oh, look, you know, that's really what was happening at that time that we saw from Bobbie's memory. I know some of you may see that as, oh, that was kind of a spoiler kind of thing, but I don't see it as that, because had I not watched this episode and rewatched episode 6 just to dissect it frame by frame, I would have noticed that. I hope so, anyway. My attention span is, but you know what I'm saying? So I don't see it as a spoiler. It's something that was inevitable to be figured out anyway, even if I never got to episode 7 and I just rewatched episode 6 over and over again. Anyway, it's comments like that that I find insightful, and I find it helpful for me as we go along with my reactions to these episodes. Alright, so let's talk about at least 3 things from this episode I take away as memorable. Number 1, Bobbie. Bobbie. She's my girl. I love Bobbie. Not only her fearless attitude, but I love her. She says it like it is, and then she's like, you know, apologies, sir. That moment was so funny. But what I love the most about Bobbie so far that I'm interpreting in the way the actress is portraying her, I like how there's a wonderful balance of fearlessness, toughness, and vulnerability, and even femininity. And I don't know how to express that further, but I just like the balance of how they show her as a character. And so I'm looking forward to seeing more of how it's going to be expressed depending on who she's talking to and what the context of the situation is. I'm loving Bobbie, and I'm loving all things related to her experience, and it's going to be quite something to watch her, you know, take center stage there at the UN meeting. And is she going to just burst out and tell them the truth? Or will she play her cards safely so she doesn't get on the wrong side with her Marines and the Martians and so forth? Because one thing is for sure that guy was right about, the one that challenged her. I forgot his name. Of course I did. He was right that everything, the politics now related to Ganymede, being the food supply and all that stuff, is likely where the spark of the war will intensify if the certain things are not said or are not told. And I have kind of mixed feelings about that, right? Like, there's a part of me that's like, of course, tell the UN the truth. They need to know. They need to know about these crazy blue aliens out there killing up a storm or something. But at the same time, I understand on a political point of view, especially with the history that I'm understanding now between Mars and Earth, Mars needs to also, they need to have their leverage too. They've dealt with enough garbage from Earth, from what it seems, and this is now their chance to kind of for once have their foot on the pedal. So I'm kind of siding a little bit more with Mars on that, out of empathy for the situation they've been in, with this ping pong situation that I'm understanding between Earth and Mars. So yeah, either way, it's going to be exciting to watch and I can't wait. And the second takeaway from this episode that piqued my curiosity, although the scenes were quite brief, was that whole thing with Amos and just that moment, where he, had a flashback of his childhood with his mother, and that brief moment between him and Kodazar. And although the exchange within that scene was fun to watch, and just especially from Kodazar's perspective, that was actually hilarious, I can't wait till we get more of a backstory with Amos. I want to understand Amos as a character. I know many of you so far in the comment section have given your perspective of what you love about Amos. But like for everything else with this show, I have to have the experience for myself before I can make my own conclusion about Amos. So far, I've taken a liking to him. I could see he'll be a character I might really enjoy, or maybe not. Because if you've watched my previous reactions, there are certain things that Amos does do that I'm just like, what's wrong with you? Like, are you a barbarian or what? But anyway, I'm gonna trust that the evolution of Amos might be more surprising in a good way. A delightful surprise. Let's hope. Either way, I can't wait to learn more about Amos's backstory. And it's unfortunate we only got somewhat of a teaser, but I'm patient and I'm looking forward to it. And the last takeaway from this episode, Anderson Dawes versus Fred Johnson. And Holden. This is where the devil's advocate aspect of me kicks into high gear. If you watch my reaction, you likely noted on my face, I see both points. But I'm leaning more towards Fred because, as I had said, if you watched my reaction, because I have to presume sometimes people just skip over it anyway, it seems that Anderson's the type of person that he's always going to find a war. He's always going to find a war because that's what he knows. And I had made a comment that in my family, especially, the men in my family, it's always been a thing, you are going to experience what you're used to and what you expect. And if you're used to war and you expect war, it's almost like you're looking for it even though you think you're not. And then you're always surprised that it's always around. That's all I'll say on that subject. But when it comes to this episode with Anderson, I don't trust him. It's like he's saying words that seems very protective of Belters and very protective of Ceres and very protective of Belter independence, which I'm actually all for. That's that part of me that's like, of course, independence, your rights. And I love how this actor delivers his resentment of Earth and his resentment of Earth culture being superimposed on a group of people that should have their own culture. Like that moment where he's like, even time is from them, right? Earth's perspective. And it's just like, damn, I feel that the actor did a great job in relating how the anguish of that and this constant fight for a group of people to be recognized as separate and distinct and special in their own right and deserving to govern themselves. But despite those very proud words from a proud belter, I'm kind of the Holden in that situation where I'm just like, I don't trust this guy. But Naomi makes a good point, you know, especially that point where she says that he puts whatever money he's getting, he puts it back into the community. It goes back to belters. So I got her on that, but at the end of the day, I just don't trust Anderson. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. There's just something off about him. I just feel he's that type of person, right? As I've said before, and I apologize for being redundant, but he's that type of guy that will always find a reason to say there's war when there actually could be peace. As Fred said, this is a chance. And if Anderson has never known peace, how could you expect him to recognize its possibility for his people? All he's known is war. Either way, I want to reassure you that my conclusion on Anderson is still, obviously, I have more seasons to go before I can come to any conclusion with the guy. But so far, I don't trust him, although I understand where he's coming from to some degree. Yeah. So there you have it. That is my reaction and takeaways from episode 7. If you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. The prompt is on the screen. Just follow the direction. Follow the prompt. I know you see it. In any case, thank you so much for tuning in and watching. I'm Asha, and until episode 8, peace out. Thanks for watching. Check out my other videos and subscribe. You know you wanna.